This is the iKeyPad. Here we can see that this is the bars iKeyPad with the label at the top there. It's also showing the session, rotation, rotation 1, flight, flight A, lists of gymnasts and gymnast numbers. There's a keypad. This is a backspace or delete button and a select button. This is the rotation schedule, a copy of which will be at the judges table. It details the session, the flight, the squads A, B, C and D, and the event, vault, bars, beam and floor, and finally the gymnasts. Here we can see the squad with event labels assigned to each gymnast. So Snow White will start bars, and when they move onto the beam, Robin Hood will start the beam, Donald Duck will start the floor, and so on. This is the competition order. If gymnast cards are being used, then the order that the gymnasts compete in will be dictated by the coach. The coach will shuffle the cards in the order that he wants the gymnast to compete in for that particular squad. This is the judges' score sheet. Notice it's got the session number here and the rotation number, showing it's squad B. They're on flight A. Of course, this is the bars event. Here, Judge 1 has given a score of 9.3 and Judge 2 has given a score of 9.5, the average being 9.4. These are the two scores that you're going to enter into the iKeyPad. Obviously, this is for the first gymnast, Snow White. To select the gymnast, we simply press the name, highlight the name, and the screen now changes to show Snow White. Notice we have Judge 1 and Judge 2 boxes here. Next we enter the first score, which if you remember was a 9.3, so simply press 9 and a 3, you don't need to hit the point, and press enter. It goes from Judge 1 to Judge 2. The second score was 9.5, so we press 9, 5, enter. Notice the two scores displayed in the boxes here and then the average. So now we then press the save button, sends it to the computer, sends it to the screen, and the screen reverts back to its normal state. Notice that 9.4 is now entered against Snow White, so you've now got a double check on your scores to make sure you did everything correctly. The next gymnast, we can see that the judges have scored exactly the same score. Here we can see that Judge 1 has given 9.2 and Judge 2 has given 9.2, thereby giving us an average of 9.2. We can enter this in a slightly different and easier way. So now we select the next gymnast, which was Superman. Superman comes up. Remember, Judge 1 gave 9.2, so we just simply press 9.2. And then all we do next is we hit this bingo button here. It fills in the 9.2 for Judge 2, gives our average of 9.2. And once we're happy with everything, just press the save button, and it sends it to the computer and then sends it to the screen. Once again, 9.2 is displayed against Superman. So the next gymnast is up, and here we can see that the judges have given a neutral deduction of -0.1 because the gymnast did not salute, and is entered on the score sheet as such. We now therefore have to enter this into the keypad. So Robin Hood was up next. We simply press Robin Hood. The first score was a 9.1, 9.1, enter. The second score was a 9.5, 9.5, enter. Gives us an average of 9.3, but because there was a neutral deduction, we simply press the minus button here. Notice it gives us a -0.1 here, and it takes it off the average. After that, we then simply press the save button. Notice that 9.2 is now displayed. Here we can see that a gymnast scratch. She may have taken ill, or she did not show up, or might be competing in only one event, or did a touch. So we still have to enter a score for this gymnast, and we just enter zeros. So the next gymnast, Miss Piggy, wears a scratch, so we simply highlight Miss Piggy. And then all we do is we hit the scratch button on the right hand side. It fills in zeros. It does not erase the gymnast from the computer, it just fills in zeros for that particular event. Once we're happy with everything, we then hit the save button. Save button then sends it to the computer and does not send anything to the TV monitor. Next we're going to deal with a score change. Now here we can see that Judge 1 here changed this score from a 9.3 to a 9.5. Now this could be due to any number of reasons. There may have been an inquiry, the judge may have made a mistake to begin with, or the scorer may have entered the wrong score as well. So we're now going to deal with changing a score that's already been entered. So you can see that we now need to change 9.3 to a 9.5, which will give us a 9.5. So we now need to change the score for Snow White. So we simply press Snow White. And then we highlight this first score which has to change. And we need to change that to a 9.5. And then we just hit enter. So now the average changes to 9.5. And then we just hit save. So squad B of flight A have now finished the event. All the scores are all in. So what do we do next? Well, make sure that the judge signs the sheet. Some of them do, some of them don't, but ideally they should sign the sheet. Take the sheet from the judge and do a last minute check. Check all the averages in the right hand column against the average in the iKeyPad. Check the gymnast scores in the right column, averages, with the averages on the judge's score sheet. Once we've done the check and everything's okay, we then take the handwritten copy back to the scoring desk to check the digital version with the handwritten version. So now that flight A is complete, we now need to prepare for flight B. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, you can see here that it says rotation 1, flight A, so we need to go to flight B. There's two ways of doing this. What we can do is hit that arrow to the right there, just press it, eventually, there we go. Now we're showing flight B. The other thing we can do as well is we can hit the rotation label like that and use this tumbler here to go to the next flight and then hit done. We're all prepared now, ready for flight B. This is especially for the vault scorer. Because the gymnast makes 2 attempts, all 4 scores must be entered into the iKeyPad. Here you can see that Judge 1 gives a 9.3, Judge 2 gives a 9.5, the average is 9.4. And the second attempt, Judge 1 gives 9.6, Judge 2 9.8, and the average is 9.7. The judge will then circle the best one, but the scorer must enter all 4 scores into the iKeyPad. To do this, we have to take one more extra step on the score entry. So here we have the vault iKeyPad. So we select the gymnast in the normal way. So let's say for this one's olive oil is up. So we touch olive oil. Now notice here that we have this button over here called save and switch. So we now enter the first score, which was, if you remember, a 9 and a 3, enter, and then Judge 2 was a 9 and a 5, enter. And then what we do then is we hit this button over here called save and switch. We hit that save and switch, and now notice Judge 1 and Judge 2 are now waiting for scores. The first score, Judge 1 was a 9.6, enter, and the second score for Judge 2 was a 9.8, enter. And it gives us the average of 9.7. If you want to review your previous score, all you've got to do is hit that save and switch button again, and you can rock between the two. Once again, you can check the 2 scores, save and switch, check the 2 scores. Notice this 9.7 is the highest score, so you can compare it to the judge's sheet. And once you're happy with everything, as usual, just hit the save button, sends it to the computer, and then also sends it to the TV monitor. And notice that the best of the 2 attempts is displayed against the gymnast. Here you can see the battery indicator status, and it's showing 59%. If this number gets down to 25 or 20%, please come over to the scoring desk, pick up a battery pack, and then we'll put the iKeyPad on charge. Make sure this switch here, hide athletes with scores, is not switched on, otherwise you'll lose the display of all the athletes with scores, like so. We prefer that you have it switched off so that you can see all the scores, like so. Okay, a couple of tips. Let's say we're selecting the gymnast and we select Superman, and oops, it's the wrong gymnast. Let's hit the cancel button and hit this yes button. We can get completely out and start all over again. Now remember, we can select by the athlete number. So let's say we wanted Donald Duck. Donald Duck is 9001. It's asking to enter athlete number 9001. Select. Up comes Donald Duck. Okay, Judge 1 wants a score. Let's give a 96. You can then just hit the J2 as well. Judge 2 box is now wanting the score. Let's do a 95, enter, gives the average. Remember, check the average against the score sheet average as well. Now a thing about the neutral deduction, we mentioned about the no salute, but also it could be due to out of bounds, overtime, or a coach safety issue. So multiple numbers, just hit the minus button, then hit again for a -2, or if it's a -3, just hit it again. If you fat finger it too many times, just hit the plus sign and it will be deducted. All we're going to do then is just hit the save button as normal. There we go. Let's say you're at a different rotation, a coach comes and says to you, I just want to check a gymnast score, could you check a 9008 for me? You can just say, yeah, sure. You just punch in 9008, select, and you could tell the coach, yeah, it was a 9696, a 96 average, and he says, fine, thank you very much. Then you just hit the cancel button, and then hit the yes button, and then that's it, done. You've now checked the score for the coach. For the purpose of this video, we've been using a dummy session called Session XX, which is loaded with fictitious gymnasts, as you can see, and these will also be loading on the tablet so that you can do some practice. But when the meet is about to start, or the session is about to start, we will load the proper session and the proper gymnast. So while this session is running, you could practice, but when the real session runs, no more practicing. So here you can see session 1, rotation 1 flight here has now been loaded, and the authentic gymnasts are now listed here.